So good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. I'm Linda, and joining me on the show tonight is Albert and Bridgeman. Good evening, guys.
Good evening, Bridge. Good evening, Linda. How are you?
Evening, Bridge.
Oh, can I just say a good evening to yourself, Linda, and you, Albert. Hopefully you'll be able to carry me through this. And of course, to Fox and his techie team in the background. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
So, Albert, how are you? Did you enjoy your weekend?
I enjoyed my weekend, but I didn't enjoy that game. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that, I suppose.
Aye, it wasn't the best of games, was it, Bridge? It was maybe just all about getting through in the end up.
Yeah, I think we have to take advantage of the fact that the amount of, shall we say, potential good players that's going to come in right through the team, and they got a full half. And I think it's fantastic what the manager's done. I dare say he's weighed it up. I think that team, actually, we gave that team a wee bit more time than they expected. And they got a couple of nice bits of play on it, but the Rangers were all over them, just all over them. But I thoroughly enjoyed the game, Patrick.
So it might be maybe not the most exciting of things to do, but we'll talk through the game anyway and get your thoughts on it, both of you. But Albert, we actually he made 6 or 7 changes to the team that started against Aberdeen midweek. So I suppose with that amount of changes, sometimes it just knocks the fluency away from the team a wee bit. But we started, it was Butland, we had Tav, Golson, Suter and Barisic, Jack, Raskin, Wright, Diamondi, Cortez and Silva. Any surprises there? Are we expecting a few changes?
Oh, there's plenty of surprises, but I was expecting some changes. 7 changes, a bit too much, I thought. But anyway, that's the manager's call. And he's proven right again because we won the game and went through. So to that point of view, I'm pretty happy. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm pretty happy about that bit. And the changes were the changes. The good thing about it is they got a lot of people with time in their legs that badly needed. They badly needed it. So that was good. That was definitely good.
Yeah.
So I'll stop there, Lanu.
No, you'll need to say a bit more than that. Bridge, would you agree that it was probably the type of game that he needed to make the changes, as Albert said, to freshen it up and start to get people playing a bit of football, you know, those that haven't had a lot of minutes recently?
Yeah, 100%. But honestly, myself and a whole load of others running about us in the Coat and Rear were thinking that they would have brought them on after half time, you know, and gave them 30 minutes or 35 minutes or whatever, you know. But here he brought them on right at the start. So no complaints, by the way. Everybody just got on with the game and probably enjoyed it. It was good to see the youngsters. That's one of the things that I mean when I say I enjoyed the game. Enjoyed the score, enjoyed the atmosphere. I don't think it was 50,000 there, but my goodness, it wasn't short of a full house. And that's fantastic for United. They're going to take away a lot of money. Let's put it that way. So they've done well with that. And they were a nice looking team then until they get the wee nasty bits. There's some wee nasty bits in that team. And the referee was rubbish. Can I tell you that right now? The referee was just rubbish. So that's as far as I'm concerned, that's what I'm going to say about that.
No change there, Bridgie. The refereeing in this country, you could have a whole week's worth of shows to talk about it. But you're right, Bridget. It was I think I read it was about 44,000 crowd, and they had a good wee support with them. You're right, and it's Albert, that's terrific for a Saturday evening game at 5:30. The match is on the television. I know everybody can't get to see it, but for us to have 44,000 in the stadium, it was quite something, Albert, isn't it?
It just shows the level of the Rangers support. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That's positive as well. So a few positives in the game. We can't deny that. But there's a few negatives in the game as well. We can't deny that either. But all in all, I mean, the problem I had with the game is the positives for me, well, we win the game, and we go in the next round, and that's the most important thing. Forget about everything else. That's the most important thing. Second one was we did get players minutes in their legs, back for injury, no playing as much as because they couldn't get in the team. So we'll go to them back and new players like Cortez and Diomande getting minutes in their legs. Excellent. That's all excellent stuff. The problem I had was the old guard. I had a big problem with the old guard. And I'm talking about Golson, Tavernier, Barisic, Jack. They showed complacency. And I didn't. The good thing about that is we got a warning. And that was a warning there. We've been playing well under Clement right up to this game, I think. But we got a warning there. And the warning is name your complacency. You just don't take anything for granted. Keep your standards up. But the warning was, and we got a victory. That's another good point. We got the victory. We got a warning, but we got the victory. Now heed the warning. That's the thing I took at it. Heed the warning.
And Bridge, I thought we started quite well. You know, Cortez was looking lively, and we'll obviously come on to him later on. Cortez, you know, he hit the post the first couple of minutes. He had another good shot, Bridge, from kind of just outside the box. It was kind of straight down the goalkeeper, right enough. But I thought he looked quite bright early doors, Bridge, and obviously he was a bit unlucky hitting the post there in the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, Cortez is a good player. He's going to be a smashing player for us. If he can keep going the way he's going, he's improved. I think he's been only on about 3 times, but he's been really good each time. And I thought he had a tremendous first half anyway. I've got a great deal of respect for all of these players because they don't know what the manager wants and the manager doesn't know what to expect from them and so on and so forth. And it becomes a bit of a conundrum for them. But no, I think like Cortez and the others, I thought they played very well. We created a number of chances. Obviously running into the big legs and big heads of the mass defence and the low block and so on. But you know, when they got the ball and they came up the park, they didn't stop. I mean, they wade their way through a whole load of our midfield who were probably stuck halfway up half the park in the wrong way. And I thought that Golson and company had a wee job in their hands in defence there, and we saw that a couple of times when the desperation crept in. But I think I was very happy overall, very happy with the way we played and the way the youngsters get playing and the new starts.
We took the lead all bare just after 10 minutes. It was Cortez had some great play. I think he linked up with Wright at first and tried to square it, I think maybe across to Silva, and the ball broke back to him. He looked up and found Barisic, and I don't know, it was probably maybe going wide, Albert, and it took that kind of deflection. But if you don't shoot, you don't score, Albert.
Aye, no, wasn't going wide. Wasn't going wide far I'm concerned. I was a good strike with Barisic, he really was. He hit it well. Deserved to go in, by the way, deserved to go in. Unusual for him to shoot, but well done, well done. Nice wee bit of work by Cortez as well. Boys are showing a lot of potential. Still miles to go with the boys. No fit yet. There is Diomande. He's nowhere fit either. But you can see there's something in them. And I'm quite looking forward to getting them fit and see what they bring up.
And Albert, there was an incident just after that. And you've got to call out, you know, when we don't do things right, you know. And Golson, for me, gave the referee a bit of a decision he made with the one where there's a loose ball and he dives in, Albert. You can't really see it any other way. And well, he was fortunate maybe to get away with it, and they broke up the park, and Suter made a brilliant challenge in the box to sort of sniff out the danger. But I did think that Golson gave the referee a bit of a decision to make there, Albert.
See, the air boy done him a favour. He didn't get done. He carried on and got a through ball. But the reason the boy could do that is because he never really touched him. He maybe glanced off his foot, but he never made full contact with him. If he would have made full contact with him, there's no way the boy could have carried on and played. No, I mean, I'm talking about the pass. I'm not talking about the game. I'm just talking about that pass. So that's that. Poland, if he would have been doing, the VAR would have got involved, everybody would get involved. You had the usual Rangers haters all shouting about Golson to go off, all the usual carry on. It had been on for days and weeks and months and all the rest of the nonsense. But the reason I was angry with it was Golson. It's complacency. It's sheer and utter complacency. He thinks if I remember right, the ball broke off him, and he tried to recover it. And the reason it broke off was complacency. You're saying, look, you're not a bad player, Golson, but you're not the player you think you are. You shouldn't be taking these players. They're professional players you're playing against. You shouldn't be taking them lightly. And they were taking them lightly. I don't care what anybody says, they were taking them lightly. So that's what caused that. But you're right. He gives Colm a decision to make. The boy saved him. The air boy saved him. I must admit, that's why I seen it. He saved him. Because I think it went too far. I think intent. They sent him off for intent.
Yeah. And Bridge, just after that as well, we got Silva booked. And it was I think he just caught the guy on the toe. Another incident, Bridge, obviously not anywhere as bad as the Sterling one. But Silva got himself booked, and I think there was only maybe 25 minutes gone, Bridge, and you're thinking he's on a booking now, so he'll need to be careful what he does now in the game going forward.
Yeah, you're right. You've got to be careful, and he really does have to be very careful, because he had another one, and I think Scott Brown even mentioned it in a post-match interview, and I'm sure he said he could expect him to easily get a red card with that. A second yellow and never a red. He caught the boy in the middle of his leg, the middle of his shin. That's what I saw anyway. Now, whether the guy ran into him or whether he hit him, I'm not dead sure. But it was contact in the middle of the boy's shin, and I thought that it could easily have gone for that. And you mentioned Golson a minute ago. I think Golson sometimes, the usual, all bears right. He can't control the ball right. The ball bounces after some part of his body. Probably at the top of his shin or below the knee or something like that, and it's lost. And the next one is a tackle. That's what happens. The next touch is a tackle, and the tackle with Golson, big fella, and can sometimes be quite ruthless. And I think he was very lucky not to see red possibly with that one. And I thought it was a bad tackle, but I'm pleased it was Rangers, and we carried on. And Golson was immaculate most of the game. Lovely passes forward. No problems at all, cruising the game. It's when he gets caught in the turn, or the rest of the defence get him caught in the turn. He does. Obviously, we know he doesn't have the pace to get back as quickly as he would like. But somewhere along the line, we might have to say you've got to be an anchor, but you're going to miss his distribution, which is quite good. But it's something he's got to watch out for, really. Otherwise, we're going to lose him for a few games for sure.
Yeah, probably all bears right. Maybe a bit of complacency creeping in there, but we don't want to see that. But Allbear, they then had, was it 2 or 3 corners in a wee spell that you thought, goodness sake, hopefully they're not going to pull a goal back here, because after the first 10 minutes getting the goal early doors, we just wanted Rangers to go in and maybe kill the game off, Allbear. But as I say, they kind of came back into it a wee bit, didn't they?
That passage of play was not due to complacency again. This is what was annoying me. In the Beale day and in wee Gio's day, we'd have lost a goal during that time. But this is Clement's era. And they've learned you better not lose that goal, because if you lose that goal, heads will roll. And so they didn't actually really look like losing a goal, to be perfectly honest. What I was more concerned about is somebody making a mistake. That's what I was more concerned about, because of the lackadaisical approach to it. And it was really annoying me. Just quickly on the Silver one, by the way. That Silver one, I'll take Clement's explanation of the Silver one, especially the second one. The first one wasn't a booking. Let's get that straight. That just wasn't a booking. That's Colm taking a dislike to a player. And he does this all the time. He takes dislikes to players, and that's it. No matter what the day, they're going to get booked or sent off. That's what he does. That's his style of refereeing. And he seems to take a dislike to Silver. But the second tackle with Silver, the two of them could have been sent off. Let's be honest about this, because the airboy, Clement said that if you look at Silver's thigh, there's stud marks on Silver's thigh. So that's the guy coming in high, him himself. He's clearing the ball, he's thinking, and Silver's going out to try and block it. So for the end of it, if you look at it fairly, Silver could have went. Of course he could have, but that boy could have went as well. So I think it was just sort of nullified itself and went, well, there's nothing really much in it. Just leave it alone. Because the two of them played on. There wasn't any major problem there. The two of them played on. No. But again, as you said, that wee spell with their 10 minutes, Ayers 10 minutes, that was down to us. That was directly down to us. That should never have happened in that period of time. But anyway, sorry.
No. I thought he says he wasn't going to be going on a rant tonight, but that's absolutely fine.
Man's a shocker.
I know. So Bridge, before half time, we had another couple of chances. I think I remember Borna got on the end of maybe a cross for Scott Wright, and he connects with it quite well, Bridge, and it kind of ricochets, we like to say, off one of their defenders, smacks the goalie. The goalie doesn't really know anything about it, and Borna could have got his second deflected goal there. And then we had another one, Bridge, I think it was Cortez kind of shot across the goal, sort of left to right, and if Tav had just maybe slid in or gambled, Bridge, he probably would have had a tap in, eh?
Yeah, there was a number of those type of chances. You mentioned Scott Wright, and that's the last time I'm going to mention his name. Seriously, that's how good he was. He was absolutely dreadful. But the manager picked him, so I've got to really quite support him. But I don't know why. It's just really is. I'm very much. I'm going to shut up now about him. I'm speak about him again. We're going to say I thought Buckland did well a couple of times in the area there. He was getting challenged, and he stood up to everything. Superb. Great goalkeeper, that. Great goalkeeper.
So they get a couple of players booked just before half time, a couple of tasty tackles probably, bookings, probably he got those decisions correct. But half time 1-0, just probably, as you say, Albert, complacency maybe creeping in, and you'd have liked if they'd maybe have another goal, Albert, because if they get an equaliser, you're kind of thinking, what's going on here? But we didn't get it, and we went in 1-0 up at half time, Albury.
And that was it. I mean, you're sitting there saying to yourself, this is ridiculous going in here at 1-0 half time. But if you look to the overall chances we created, there wasn't much. We Cortez had a chance to hit the post, and then that one you mentioned about Tavernier, the one that hit across in Tavernier just couldn't get on the end of it. But and then in Barisic, his second chance. I mean, Christ's sake, man, he's supposed to be an international player, and he can't catch that flush. It hits his heel and hits the defender, and then hits the keeper on the chest. And you're going, that'd have been some bizarre goal, that one. What are you playing pinball? What's this all about? It was a disaster of a shot. It really was. Sorry, the Bridge, come in.
I picked it up on the telly. I watched the highlights. Went on the Rangers TV next morning and watched the highlights but thoroughly. And my goodness gracious, you're right. That ball, and it's on his left foot. And I'm wondering to myself, what is going on? Because he's missing the ball with his foot, and it hits his heel, and all chaos range, And you think to yourself, what on earth? However, the greatest respect, there might have been a breeze at the time and moved the ball. I don't know. We should have scored probably another 4 or 5 goals there, and it wouldn't have been embarrassing for us, I mean that sincerely. We'd easily have done it. But we need to do better. We need to score more goals. So we know the usual because we're saying the same thing. But the way the team has played and performed, another clean sheet, 2 goals, and so on and so forth. And this building. Really looking forward to it all.
Who would expect Barisic, as you say, Albert, an international, to get his head over that and just make sure he gets it on target? Because I think if he gets it on target, it's probably going in. But anyway, it was still 1-0. After that, we had a few, other shots. I think they had another maybe 2 corners in the game, early door second half. And then I think we actually some good play for Scott Wright. We didn't see that very often, but I think he had a good wee run, Albert. And the ball ends up in there, and Diamondi tries a kind of a scissor kick. Good effort from him, Albert, and he was a bit unlucky that it didn't go in.
Scott Wright, oh Christ, here we go.
Now, don't you get yourself depressed.
No one, by the way. A good run for him would be if he ran right out the Blue Gates, right down that Paisley Road. That'd be a good run for me. I mean, he's just dreadful. Let's be honest, he's just dreadful. That run he did, you sit and say to yourself, that looked good. That actually looked good. How do you know they made that, son? But you got to remember, there was no end product. It wasn't a shot, it wasn't a cross. I don't know what happened to it. Pigeons probably ran away with the ball, knowing him, know what I mean? But anyway, he's just a dreadful player. I don't know why people keep saying there's something about him. He's something. He's dreadful. That's what something's about him. But anyway, apart from that, Diamondi done well with the overhead kick, by the way. It was a good effort. All things considered, it was a good effort. I don't think Diomande, that is his position. I don't think Clement's trying to say that's his position.
No.
He's just trying to get him into the team and get minutes into him. So, but aye, he done well there. He done really well.
I think he said Albert at the end, Clement, that he maybe played Diomande a wee bit further up than he normally plays, and probably just about getting the boy integrated into the squad and get him some minutes, isn't it? But after that, you're just thinking, go and get the subs on here, because we need to get this second goal just to sort of calm our nerves a wee bit, I think. So he brought on, I think it was Cantwell, Yilmaz and Matondo come on. Diomande, Barisic and Cortez went off, and Lundstrom come on as well. So obviously he just decided to take, some fresh legs, and I think he said that the new guys wouldn't get the 90 minutes anyway in terms of Diomande and Cortez. I think Silva had a good header that he missed Albert just before he got the second goal, and he actually had a couple of headers, Albert, didn't he, that he didn't quite connect with properly.
He's not a centre forward. You can see he's not a centre forward. Good enough to play there in Scotland, I suppose, but he's not a centre forward. What I don't like about Silver, just touching on him at the moment, is this amateur dramatics nonsense. Throwing his hands in the air and rolling about and nonsense like that. I'm saying, like, get out of your game, son. You're better than that. You're far better than that. Don't start that nonsense. Just concentrate on the game, put the ball in the net, which he duly did. He duly did do that, so I've not got a complaint. But when Matondo, when Cantwell come on, especially Cantwell come on, you've seen the difference in the team right away. Lundstrom come on and went off his head right away. He's shouting and bawling at them, and I'm saying he sees what we're seeing, the complacency. Get that out your game, eradicate that right away. Any team you play, you should not have that degree of complacency, and you'll fall foul if you keep it up. But Clement will not let that happen. He won't let that happen.
Yeah, I thought Bridge when Cantwell come on, the kind of level went up a wee bit. Just a lovely wee bit of skill from him, Bridge. He kind of on the right-hand side of the box, and he chips the ball to the back post. Bridge, I don't know how Matondo never scored it, but I was quite happy that it fell to Silva, and he just smashed it into the roof of the net, Bridge.
Yeah, I think it was just out of Matondo's reach, to be honest. And I actually think it hit the post. However, not that it matters, but yeah, you're right. When Cantwell come on, it was about 2 or 3 degrees of heat for the game for us. Cantwell was a superb. What, for half an hour or something like that? Absolutely brilliant. Everybody did look good, and he links in and brings everybody you can see into the game. Superb. And you think to yourself, why? After we were talking a bit negative about the way of our performance, particularly in the first half, and you think to yourself, why did we start like? Well, we started that because with a lot of not young, but youngish and new people. They have to get minutes, as Albert says earlier on. He's got to get minutes into their legs to see if there's a way forward for them, and so on and so forth. So it did very well. I think the result could have been a lot higher, but I'm quite happy. I said to the boy sitting next to me when he was talking about it, I said, by the way, I'll tell you now, I'd be happy with a 1-0. That's why they call you Bridgeman.
Hello.
I think we've been joined with Stevie. Are you in, Stevie?
Yes, I'm up here, and I'm going to give you an exclusive tonight on Rangers Radio. I've got the boys in the band all ready to go. We're going to play you a wee tune. Take it away, lads.
Fantastic.
You go, Paul. There you go. Always remember who you are and where you are from. We're going to win this league. Come on, Rangers Radio. We are the people.
Oh, a big hand for the drummy boys. A big hand for the drummy boys.
Way! Right.
That's quite good, Stevie. I didn't know you'd a singing dog. Something like a singing dog girl.
That was maybe better than talking about the game, guys. Right, so anyway, guys, we the game kind of just petered out after that, Albert. We got the second goal. We were a wee bit more relaxed. I think he brought on young King for Raskin. It was nice to see him getting a few minutes, and we saw the game out and Albert into the quarterfinals.
That's the most important thing, isn't it? I don't care. That's the most important thing. Get the semi-final. Just a wee one on Matondo Bridge. He never scored that goal because he's no bottle. No bottle and desire, mate. You can't miss an empty goal for a yard out, mate. That's what caused that. And he's lucky Silver was behind him. And he's a class player to get it, swivel and put it in the roof of the net. Anyway, done with the game and we're in the quarterfinals. Happy.
Very happy. Sorry, did you want me to come in there? Apologies.
On you come, Bridge. Happy just to get through.
I was going to say very, very happy with the main thing is we're through. That's the main thing. In anybody's language, we're through. We played no bad. We weren't the greatest team in the whole world, and we weren't playing against the greatest team in the whole world either. Evening kickoff. Sometimes the weather can be a bit of a leveler, and of course the different quality of players can make it even worse because they play good, you play not so good, and they look better than you, and so on and so forth. All that nonsense is on. But I come away from the Ibrox really, really happy, and as I say, I was really delighted with the crowd. Really delighted with the crowd. The subways weren't very numerous on Saturday. So it was a long wait for the punters sometimes. Unless, of course, you get the lucky ones that come in, the subway's right there. But it was like nearly a 10-minute wait at Partick Station for the subway over. And the same going back.
Right.
It's a long wait.
So that's our thoughts in the game. We're going to hear from the manager now, just these press conference after the game on Saturday. So let's hear from Philippe Clement.
Philip, how did you view that one today?
That the team did a good job. That we started the game well with good tempo, with good actions. After 3 minutes, we could have scored already 2 goals. But in football, you need also a little bit luck. That was not on our side today in the finishing. And all respect also to our opponents who gave their lives to stop the goals. Also in second half by making saves on the goal line and things like that. So was a game that we had 90 minutes control. The team went forward to score goals. We didn't give away almost anything. I think 1 shot on target. So keeping a clean sheet is also important. And we could give minutes to guys who are just in the building, to players who come out of injury also. To raise their rhythm and to rest a few players also. So it's a positive evening. The only thing, I first need to say other positive thing is that to play that kind of game for so many fans, that's maybe the most positive thing of the evening. So in that way, I would have wished to give the fans more goals today. That's the only thing. If I look for perfection, that would have been even better, but we try to do that.
First starts for Oscar Cortez and Mohamed Diamande. What did you make of their performances?
That Oscar played in a position that is more familiar. Dio played a little bit higher today because of the circumstances, also that we are building with Tom Lawrence. His minutes, Todd had also a knock in the weekend, so we wanted to watch out with that also. And they showed good things. They showed they are good players, good technical players, and they're just now, 2 weeks here with us, and you see already that they have a good connection with the team. They understand what we want to do. Of course, it's not perfect yet, and it needs to become more natural, but that's normal after 2 weeks.
coming out of a game like this? Is there ever any frustration that there weren't more goals? Is it all about getting the win and getting through to the next round?
Yeah, but you can be frustrated because you don't attack enough or whatever. No, you need a little bit luck in football. So I don't think that the really big teams in the world with the best players in the world, they don't win every game with 5-6-0. If we see where we were a few months ago and now, I think we did a good job today. It was not exceptional. Then we should have scored more goals. But an opponent is there also to stop you, and they did it in a really energetic way today.
In terms of giving players minutes, will you push that temptation to play Robbie McCrory today rather than Jack Marais?
I had some thoughts about that, but finally we decided to do this.
Do you think there was a chance that we could have sent off in the second half?
No, he get a kick on his leg in that action. You need to look good at the images. He showed me also there were studs on his leg. So, here, on top of his leg. So I don't think so. If I had a fear about that, I would have made the change directly.
Well, I know you don't want to go too far ahead. Fans see that like leaving the win everything this season. Can you understand that they like to be?
Yes, they have a right to dream because they're fans. So they can dream, and it's important to dream also in life. I want one thing, that my players are focused on the next game. Just that. And full focus on that. And you can dream in the beginning of the season, but as a player, as a manager, as member of staff, you need to be in the story in that moment. But that's the nice thing to be fan, that you can do those things. So I hope that they dream about a lot, because I love also the passion they have now, how they are behind the team, how they are helping the team also through difficult moments. So if they dream about those things, they're gonna help the team even more next couple of months. So I hope they dream a lot.
Philip, your focus is always game at a time, but you've always said you're a man who's here to win every competition they're in. What's the confidence like in the dressing room, given what that team has been through this season, that they can end up finishing this season as a very famous Rangers team indeed?
Yeah, but they're not busy with that. They're not busy with that. They're just busy with one thing. There's next game, or even not that. Next training to show that they're ready. And it's about that. We had really good players today on the bench or not in the squad. They're not unhappy. They're not depressed because they didn't play. No, they know they're in a story of a team, and it's about just the next training to go full, next game to go full, and then step by step going closer to your goals. That's the only way towards success. So you can ask me this question a lot of times, but I know what the way is to success. That's the only way. People who start to dream, they lose their focus, and they lose the way towards their goal.
Philippe, you mentioned it's a game at a time. Wednesday night is obviously another game and an opportunity to go top of the league. Will that be mentioned in the build-up to the match?
To go top of the league? No.
No.
No. No, I don't know why I should mention that.
Is it so? It won't be a focus on we need to win by a certain amount of goals. It's more a case of just get the 3 points.
No, it's not only about that game. By a certain amount of goals, we play every game to score a lot of goals. But you need, and that's important in life, and for sure as a manager, you need to control the controllables. So we're gonna play to score a lot of goals, like all the other games. There's no difference. So it's not like if I say, guys, today we need to score a lot of goals, that they're gonna score 2 goals more. Doesn't work that way. No, it's about doing the right things on the field to score more goals. So to keep your focus.
Philippe, can I just quickly ask, sorry, something you mentioned before and I found it interesting. Is that one of the big takeaways?
I'm happy you found something interesting.
Is that one? No, always, but one of the big takeaways from you today is the fact that where we were when you first came in the door to a game like today, where it can be, without being disrespectful, routine, but very comfortable in the performance and doing well. Is that a big thing for you to consider where we were to where it is now?
No, for me, the future is important. So I'm happy that we were comfortable today, but I know all the things it takes to be there and to stay there. That's a big challenge. it's easy to go to the top in every sport. It's difficult to stay there. The real good ones are the ones who stay there all the time because they keep their focus. They keep on doing what they've been doing. They don't become sloppy. They don't become lazy. They don't make mistakes. And that's the challenge we have the next couple of months, to not be happy where we are now, but to be ambitious to become better and to grow and not to become lazy or sloppy.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Thanks for that, Fox. So, quite an interesting presser from the manager, Albert. He's always good to listen to. There's quite a few wee things to sort of unpack there, but what did you think of the new guys that started? What did you think of Cortez and Diamondi on Saturday?
Oh, they did. I mean, they never shamed themselves. No, I mean, put it that way. The two of them contributed in the game. Cortez with an assist and Silver with a goal. So you're looking at that, and Diamonte was just quietly going about his business in an unfamiliar position. So I thought the three of them acquitted themselves quite well.
Bridge, your thoughts on the three new guys?
High marks for them. For me, I thought they, as I said earlier, there was nothing scandalously wrong with them. But, at times they looked really good. We moves here and there, 2 or 3 moves, and you see that sometimes the best in them. But I was happy. I was happy with them. I'm not going to complain about any of them. No complaints. I think they were very good. I'm really happy with it. Cortez looks as if he's going to be something, But if he's going to stay out on the left, then I think they've got we're going to have a problem with a boy Matondo. You can't have, well, I suppose you can. One sits on the bench and the other doesn't, But I thought Cortez was very good. Quite liked him, actually.
Yeah, Albert, I think, Matondo's done okay. I agree with you in terms of, I think he actually gets his head to that chance and it comes off the post. I think he should score there. But certainly Cortez looks the part, Albert, and early signs is that maybe in terms of first choice on the left with Sima being out, you would think that maybe Cortez would make that his own, I think.
The boy Cortez is no anywhere near his fitness level yet. No. Matondo is. So I think Matondo will keep it for the time being, but it's not going to be too long before Cortez is up to full fitness and he'll settle into the team. He's still learning the team. He's still learning the systems. He's still getting used to the atmosphere and whatever. He's getting used to the weather, of course. So he's got a lot of things that he needs to brush up on. Most of it not his fault. But I think he's definitely, once he gets up to speed and once he settles in, I think Matondo, Seamer's different, but Matondo especially, I think he'll struggle. He'll struggle to take the jersey off him, really, honestly. He's got an assist now. That's the thing I liked about it. He had shots on target and he had an assist. Now, that's productive in a game. I'm fed up watching these wingers just running up the wing and try to cross a ball and don't get by the first guy, or try to cut a ball back and don't get by the first guy. Cantwell come on and showed them all how to do it. He put the player in his bum in the 18-yard box, and then he just chips the goalkeeper at the back post where Matondo should have put the ball in the net. And you're sitting saying, McCausland, Seema, Matondo, Cortez, them all should look at that and go, this is the way it's done. Use your brains. When you get in that position, use your brains. The trouble is we just hit it, the standard, I'm going to try and get it between the goalkeeper and the centre halves. That isn't the only move you've got in that position. There is other better options sometimes, and Cantwell showed them that. That's the way you do it. I'm just this blind passing nonsense. You go, you look for the player, and if the players are not moving into a position to take it, let them know. Let them know. Let Dessers know. Let Silver know. Let some of the midfielders who should be up, by the way, at that play. Let them know to get in a position. They'll get the ball to you. So, to that point of view, Cortez is going to be a better player at it than any of them. He really is. The boy's got something about him. And that's only the short time I've seen the boy.
Bridge, Albert mentioned Cantwell again there, and we're all really enjoying watching Todd Cantwell now. Bridge, he's certainly started to play the way that we know he can play.
Yeah, and also you've got to remember that he's showing the manager that he can play and he can be depended upon, because he became a playmaker, big style, in the second half there. I thought he did really good. I thought he shone. I thought that Lundstrom, when he came on shouting and bawling at everybody, made a difference as well. But you could see when Lundstrom got the ball in the midfield, they immediately went back away into the sort of 10-man defence, you know. That's what I felt about him, and I think Cantwell made a big difference in the quality and the way he can play football, three things he did. And that boy Cortez out on the left, you could see he made some lovely moves as well. And it's really nice. But it's all got to come together, and once it all comes together, then we can turn around and say we've got a really good team. Well, I've got a good team, so sorry. We're going to be doing great things with the team. And I think people are very hopeful. Rangers fans are very hopeful on that. Yeah.
I suppose it is going to be about sort of managing the squad and rotation, Albert, isn't it? Because if you think about it, in the Aberdeen game, I think it was Lundstrom and Tom Lawrence that started in the two in terms of the midfield, and against Ayr we had Jack and Raskin. What did you think of Raskin, Albert?
Garbage, mate. Absolute garbage. That boy really needs to start getting his finger out. I know he's back for injury, and you cut him a bit of slack for that. But come on, somebody said today that I was listening to that. When's the last time you seen Raskin playing a good game, or could you name since he's been at Rangers the good games he's played in? And I think there's only one or two games that you actually say, "Oh, he played well there." The boy's full of mince. He's just talking mince and he's playing mince. And he really needs to start playing. It really does. It's time to stand up, because we all believed that this boy was going to be something special. And that's not to say he's not going to be something special. He can still do it. But he really needs to turn up. And he didn't turn up on Saturday against a second division team. And he should be standing out, even half fit. He should be standing out. If you pick him out in the ball against the Ayr players. And really, honestly, I forgot he was on the park at times. Really forgot all about him.
Yeah, I think you're not the only one there. That was quite a common sort of thread, Albert. Bridge, but we're asking, when he first came to the club this time last year with Cantwell, you know, we were raving about some of his performances, and as Albert said, he is coming back from injury, and we do need to cut him a bit of slack. But the competition in there, Bridge, is hotting up in terms of those midfield places, and he's going to find himself sitting in the bench quite a lot, Bridge, if he doesn't start playing better.
Yeah, I think we've got to also, may I say, cut him a bit of slack because he's just come back from quite a serious injury. A number of them, actually. But I think Albert said a really good thing when he said he doesn't seem to know what he's doing. That's what it seems like, you know. He gets himself mixed up somewhere in his mind, and he thinks he's going to do something, and it doesn't happen, and then he disappears. And he disappears for quite a wee while, you know, minutes before he's back into position in midfield to fight for the balls and things like that. So he has got, and by the way, if we're seeing it, other people are seeing it too, and they'll have the same type of, I would imagine, the same type of opinion. That can't happen. The manager won't allow it to happen, surely. So Raskin might find himself back on the bench very quickly if he doesn't come in. That was a marvellous chance to come up, go and play, start the game against Ayr United, a league lower, you know, and let's see what you can do against them. Well, you know, a couple of minutes, a couple of times in the first half, he was running about a headless chicken. when they get the ball, he couldn't get the ball after, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was certainly a game that you would have thought that he would have been able to make a better impression. You know, no disrespect to Ayr, but you would have expected Raskin, as you say, Albert, to kind of stand out. Just a wee question about the goalkeeping situation there, Albert. Did you expect Butland to play, or were you thinking McCrory might have been given the nod for that one?
I think the only reason McCrory didn't play Linda, to be honest with you, is there were 7 changes. If there wasn't 7 changes, I think McCrory would have played. If he's come in, that's 8 changes. That's just ripping it a bit. No, I mean that's asking a bit much for any team to do that, especially if you're bringing players into that 8 that are not fully fit. And let's be honest, 5 of the players, Jack, Raskin, Diomande, Cortez, Barisic, they're not fully fit. So you can't say it yourself, and I'll stick I'll call him a rookie goalie. He's not a rookie goalie, but you know what I'm saying. I've got a goalkeeper that is actually no played enough. He's no match fit, the goalkeeper. So you're sitting saying that's asking a lot against any team. And if they went pear-shaped with McCrory in the goal, would they all started shouting and bawling and getting up for nut? So I think that's the reason he didn't play. No other reason than that. I think it's just too many changes.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it'd be
it's
good
quite
to hear.
Difficult to gauge that, but it's quite difficult to gauge that. You can imagine, Ryan Jack seemed to his legs seemed to just go from him. One minute he was in there having shots, and the next minute he's just not there anymore. So obviously no match fit, and this is about getting minutes into the legs means. And it's, your other players will be similar. But, when you think about it, some of the players that we've got, we should, at this time of the year, heading on, we should be playing our best team every game, as we did in the second half. Made a big difference.
Probably as it starts to get more to the business end of the season, we'll probably see that, Bridge. Well, it'd be nice to get some people to come in and give us their thoughts. We've given you our opinions on the new boys, so let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Quite interesting, Albert, that a lot of the guys that do the media, the pressers after the games are fan media, as we know, and we're all talking about this goal difference, aren't we? Well, maybe a lot of us are, and we're thinking about the Ross County game, and we want them. We just would love to get enough goals to get us top of that league. We're thinking about it, but he's not going to, any way, shape, or form, come out and say that they're thinking about that, isn't he? Not.
He's telling. The trouble with us is that we're asking the team to stay focused, and we're asking the team to show bottle. We need to show the same focus, the same bottle as a support, because at the end of the day, scoring goals and getting to the top of the league right now means absolutely zero, nothing.
Yeah,
it means nothing. But nice, but it doesn't mean anything. The league doesn't finish tomorrow, Wednesday night. We've still got to carry on and win the league. So at the end of the day, this means nothing. Keep focused. Win the game first. If the goals come, they come. If they don't come, win the game. We must win the game. And that's what he's trying to tell everybody. Calm down. We all keep you together, and we all keep focused. Roar the team on to victory. That's what he's asking for, and that's what he's going to get, because the Rangers support are doing absolutely fantastically well. Let's be honest about it. 44,000 turn up to that a Saturday night, 5:30, and it's on the telly, as you said before, Linda. That shows you the commitment of the Rangers fans. It's unbelievable. And the last game against Aberdeen, even when they scored, made it 1 each, it didn't make any difference whatsoever. They just kept roaring the team on. And what happened? We just put them up, brushed them aside, scored the second goal, brushed them aside, moved on to the next game, which was there. Now we've moved on to the Ross County game. It doesn't matter going top of the league at the moment. But nice if we can do it, but it's not that important. It's get the 3 points is the most important thing.
Yeah, Bridge, you always talk about take one game at a time, don't you?
Oh, aye. You just do it. You don't think too far ahead. Our next game, biggest game of the season for sure. And look what's on it. We've got the chance, the opportunity to if we could score a number of goals. 10 above 3 would do fine, and don't lose a goal. And I'm afraid Ross County consistently getting doing that way, more than 4 and 5 goals a night. So we've got a chance. The squad's got a chance to see if they can do these things without obviously without feeling the pressure. But it sounds stupid when you after you've said it. Of course they're going to feel the pressure because they're going to create it themselves. They're going to be out there and they should be at 100 miles an hour when they come out of there to win that game. Just get stuck right into them and play your best football and have shots at goal, and you'll see how you can do it. I really and truly, that's all I could say to them. Don't get beat. Don't draw. You know what I mean? Just win the game. Win the game, and if you can, win it well. Score a lot of goals.
Yeah, absolutely, Bridge. And it's just as you say, the games take care of themselves, and it's all about getting the 3 points, or in the cup, just getting through to the next round. I mean, Albert, do you see him actually still doing a bit of rotation in the games coming up? Because I don't think we're very good at actually playing the same players all the time as well, Albert, because sometimes we've got a tendency to maybe run certain players into the ground. We've done that before. But surely now Clement's got a wee bit of leeway there in who he can actually select now.
Well, he hasn't he? He's got the squad. Well, he's got a squad together at the moment, which should be enough to cover most eventualities. But the only trouble you've got is some of them are not fit enough yet. So we can rotate. Certainly can rotate. We can rotate when games are won. There's one way of doing it. We can rotate when it's a lesser team. Where United, we already did that. But we're running out of time to actually get these players fit and match fit, because the games coming up now are all important games. They really are important games. So he's got Lundstrom a wee rest. He's got Cantwell a wee rest. He's got a few players a wee rest, which is great. But Diomande, Raskin, Jack are not fully fit yet. So he's got a limited selection of them. You know what I mean? He can use them, but he can't use them for full 90 minutes. Same with the forward line. His Seamer's out altogether, and the other two centre forwards are out altogether. But he's got Dessers and he's got Silva. Again, you've got to look at Silva. Silva puts a hell of a lot of work into a game, so you've got to be very careful with this boy. For his own good, you need to settle down. That's where Big Dessers going to play a vital part. He must play and he must score. It's unfortunate that the big man's not getting much breathing space, because he's used up all his goodwill at the beginning of the season with a mincy performance he put in. So he's ran out of goodwill. He needs to start getting brownie points. Right? He's desperate to get brownie points. And he started, let's be honest, getting them back. But he's going to have a big part to play. As is Silva, as is the whole lot of them. You then look at the winger situation. Take Scott Wright out. To me, the boy is just a waste of space. I would pick one of the boys for the B team to play before I play Scott Wright. I really would. The guy's just no good. He might be a nice guy. I don't know. I've never met the guy. Don't know anything about the guy personally. But as a football player, no, he's not for me. He's just not for me. So you've got Matondo. You've got Cortez. Now the left-hand side, when Steamer get put out, we're thinking that's looking pretty weak, that side. But you've got the A2 now coming in, and you're sitting saying, well, Cortez is no fit yet, but he's going to get fit. But Matondo's fit, so you can play him. So the rotation might be, we'll play game about or half a game each. I don't know how he's going to work the two, but again, we need to look at wingers. Wingers are wingers. Sometimes they're hot, sometimes they're cold. They can drive you absolutely crazy. That's just the way it is. It's the other side, McCausland's side, that's caused more concern to me. They're saying, right, who's going to cover him? No, it's not going to be Scott Wright. He's just mince. I'll leave it at that because I'm going on too much now, so you have a shot.
You wonder, Bridge, as well, that Cortez could maybe play on the right. I think the chat is that he's actually played in both sides of the park. But Albert's right, it is going to be a balance for our manager, Bridge. As he said, it's a nice headache to have, but it is going to be about just managing everybody, Bridge, and perhaps in some of the games coming up, starting players to get them up to match fit. He might not do that. He might go back to playing his strongest team again, Bridge, and then bringing on players to get to build up their minutes.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot in his mind as well, because he knows the fans are keen and everybody's keen to get things done. And it's a conundrum, isn't it? How do we get players fit? You've got to give them as much time. When you used to have the reserves, you could put people in the reserves for 6 or 7 games, and away we go, and that would start to build it up, both the physical and the sort of like the match fitness stuff, you know. But you see,
how do you get them fit and keep winning games, Bridge? That's the conundrum.
Of course, this is what it's all about. And the managers, I think, I have to say, I take my hat off to him. I think he's doing an absolutely wonderful job in doing just that. By the players that we had or what he inherited, and players like Dessers and things like that, and Lammers, my goodness gracious, you know, it makes you wonder. But yeah, that's what you need to do, and he needs to be able to do it and be left to do it in his own right. I'll go back to what we said earlier on about Scott Wright. I would give up on Scott Wright. I don't know if the manager wants to give up, but personally, I would not give him time of day, unless, of course, we just don't have anyone. I think we've got enough cover at the moment, and there's other people would like to get a game. You know, I mean, we used to laugh at the boy coming on, and you know, as Oxley would say, never got any dirt in his gear and things like that. You know, looks great. Comes off, it's just the same as he went on. You know, that kind of thing. The other guys, all the new guys on, I wish them all the best, and I hope they really do hope that they get their form, the good form that they've got, and let's see what they can do. But Diamande looked quite good as well when you got him the ball close and things like that. So it's really good to see what's going to happen there. I'm excited for it myself. I didn't expect us to do fantastically well against Ayr United, but I think we could have done a bit better than we did, goal-wise. You know.
I think it's just about scoring goals, Albert. I think you know, you're right to say that it shouldn't be the focus for us, but you can't help it as fans, thinking that we might need to, you know, score more goals because anything can happen, particularly in the league. And that's sometimes, I think, what's been frustrating. It's not just this season, it's the last couple of seasons that sometimes, Albert, we don't take the chances that we make. We're making chances, that's a positive thing. But sometimes it's just natural, Albert, that we want them to be more clinical.
Absolutely. That is the point. You've hit it right in the head there. But what I think Clement's talking about is the psychological side for the fans. If we win this game on Wednesday, 1-0, 2-0, don't be disappointed. That's what he's saying. Don't walk out the stadium disappointed. We've done what we had today. We win the game. So he's wanting us all to stay together. If we win at 5-0, fantastic. But don't be disappointed as long as we win the game. So if we do that and we all stick together, which we will do, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. We're going all the way.
I love it, Albert. I love it. Brilliant.
As the manager says, we can dream because we're fans, and I like that. So, guys, we're going to head for a tune now, but it would be nice to get some callers in after we hear the tune. Take it away, Fox.
Oh, every other Saturday's my half day off, and it's off to the match I go. Happily we wandered down the Copeland Road, me and my wee pal Joe. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on, we love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. Me, oh my, we love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on, we love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. We've won the Scottish League almost every time the League Cups assemble too. We get some exhibitions in the Scottish Cup, we are the cup winners too. And when the Rangers win the European Cup, as we've done with the one before, we'll gather round the Ibrox 50,000 strong to give the boys an Ibrox roar. Me, oh oh my. Oh, we love to see them cry. We love to see the lads with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. Me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, we love to see them cry. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Thanks for that, folks. One of my
Me and Mrs. Albert dancing around the living room there. That's the closest she's getting to a night out with me.
That's one of my favourite tunes, Albert. I do like that one. I do like that.
Aye,
So
super.
we cross another game off the list, don't we? We just move on to the next one. And I see the cup draw. We get Hibs away, Albert, but we'll just be parking that for now and getting back focus on the league games coming up, and the Europa League kicks off again this week. But we don't need to play, Albert, because we won it.
It's good, isn't it? It's absolutely superb. As Ox keeps saying, Europe's no for everybody, but it's for us. Because we're good. We're good at it, let's be honest. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the draw of that as well. Hibs away, right, is part. That's just another game for us. It's nothing. We'll need to win that one. It's just we'll take care of that in due course. Ross County is next. That's the most important ones we've already said. The European tie. Aye, well, good. We won that group. Fantastic. That was a fantastic achievement. We've done a lot this season, but there's plenty more to do.
Quite remarkable, isn't it, Albert, when you look at the position that we're in? Like, I accept, right, we've won a cup, right, that's in the bag, and we need to just look to the future. But when Clermont came in, did you honestly think after the start that we made that we would be in this position just now?
Absolutely. No, I didn't.
Albert, for the first time in my life, I've lost for words.
It's one of the ones. I didn't see where we're going. We didn't actually understand what the team were trying to do in the park to start with Beale. And they hurt me, Beale. Beale's a nice guy. He's for all accounts, he's a really, really good coach, but he's not a manager. He's just not a manager. Said last year when he was talking about the players and looking in the eyes, and I know who I want, we'll be a different team next year, and blah, blah, blah. I keep saying it, I'll say it again. Building a team's no easy. It's just no easy. It's not as easy as everybody thinks. No, I mean, I'll just buy a player, I'll just buy this player, and he'll just fit in there, slot in there. There's a lot more to it. First of all, you need to actually know what kind of team you want to build. That's the first thing. But some things never change in building teams, and it's good goalkeeper, good defence. They never change, no matter what team it is. They never change. If you've not got that right, you're building in sand. So he's got it right. But we've got a good goalkeeper, and that, by the way, we need to start looking at Beale's signings and that's giving the guy a bit of credit. I'm not saying give him total credit, but definitely give him a bit of credit because he's got some successes of these signings. Because Butland's a huge success, Stirling's a huge success, Seymour's a huge success. No, I mean, these guys are successes with his signings. And we've got to give him. Dessers is now turning his way around. He's not there yet, but he's getting there. Starting to show that he's a bit of a player. Cantwell and Raskin, remember, his signings as well. He brought them in the January 2023. So you're sitting saying to yourself, got to give the guy a bit of credit here. We're all slagging him with Lammers and all that, and Cifuentes and the ones that got rang. Of course, because they're garbage. You know what I mean? Cifuentes is supposed to take us to the next level. But I'll doff my hat to Beale for that, because he did get some of them right. And the ones he did get right, they're more than just all right. Butland's a superb keeper. Sterling's going to be an absolutely fantastic player. He really is. I think he signed them. Cantwell is starting to come back and show you the player that he is. Raskin is fell out of favour at the moment, but I've got every hope that the boy will find his form again and find his feet and get his focus back onto what he's supposed to be doing. He's played big seamer, superb player. He looks awkward, he looks gangly, he's all these things. The guy can run like the wind, he can hit it and he can shoot and he can score goals. That'll do for me. That'll do for me. Wish Scott Wright could do that.
Do you think we'll go for Seamer then? You were very positive about Seamer. Do you think we maybe try and buy him?
I think it would. Sorry, Linda. Carry on.
On you go, Albury. I think he did say he wants to stay, Albury, but it'll depend on what sort of price. It's Brighton he plays for, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if we're going to buy Seamer, he's probably probably between £5 and £8 million is all we can afford for him, and that'll need to be spread over 2 or 3 years. So if we get him for that, aye, because you will eventually sell the boy on for considerably more. But it's down to Brighton, innit? They'll be looking for a pound of flesh, rightly so. We'd be doing the same. It was our player, so we'll see. But if you're asking me, do I want to sign him? Would I sign him? Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, 100%.
No, I was only wondering simply because you were very positive about him. I thought maybe you're thinking, well, we should sign him. It's a should part, you know.
Well, we should sign him if we could sign him.
I'm not keen in Rangers going over the top with the money, you know, no matter who it is. But yeah, I agree with the qualities he's got. I've stood at Ibrox and watched him. He's been absolutely super duper for us, you know. And he's had a couple of wee injuries, but when he gets back, I'll tell you, nobody can cover the ground at Ibrox anyway, like him. He covers the ground, back and forward, up and down, attack, defence. He's always there. Sometimes he makes a mess in the defence and he gets into trouble, but at least he's there and he's trying and making good tackles. I think it would be a real benefit to us. However, as you pointed out there, doing the £7-8 million, I don't think we'll pay that. I think we can forget that. I think we'll be saying bye-bye to him and that's all there is to it. But it's been great watching him.
He fits the profile, Bridge. He fits the profile, but again, the only thing it doesn't fit the profile is his price. But he's young, he's plenty of potential, and he's a proven goal scorer. And if he plays it right, the world of football is his oyster. Let's be honest about it. The boy can do anything he wants if he settles down and matures and progresses. So aye, for all that, but it's the money. It is the money. That doesn't fit our profile.
I think that there could be a deal to be made, Bridge, if because I think I'm right in saying he might only have a year of his contract left, Bridge, in the summer. So there's a possibility that there might be a deal to be done with Brighton. But as Albert said, I don't think it'll be any less than probably between sort of 5 and 7, maybe, Albert. But I think going back to what Albert was saying, Bridge, about Beale's signings, you know, that it's not all just been a write-off, you know, when you think about players that have come good and have actually performed well. It might have been, Bridge, that I don't know that Michael Beale knew what to actually do with these players and what actual formation to play, because they all talk about since Clement's come in, Bridge, it's all been very structured and quite clear in terms of what they're being asked to do.
Yeah, with Clement, if you can see, well, I think you can see a massive difference to when Beale was there, but I have to agree to a certain extent with Albert. You can't, you've got to doff your hat to him. He came in and he did things and he brought some players in, which included one of our best players in Cantwell. He's brought him in. He brought in Raskin, I think he brought him as well.
Yep.
So
yep.
There's some of the players that he brought in, as they are at the moment, they're doing very well. I think that both of those boys have got shocked when Beale was sacked, if you follow what I mean. But now when Clement's here, he's going to pilot them, take them through, and make them what they can be. And obviously we've spoke about Raskin a bit earlier in the negative. So that boy's got a lot to do to prove to the Rangers fans he's actually got it, and not just the Rangers fans, but to Clement as well. If he can prove it to him, then I don't think any Rangers fans are going to argue with it. They've got their opinions, but it'll not be an argument. Not be an argument.
Albert, sometimes players just aren't suited to Scottish football as well, and sometimes actually we always talk about this, the Rangers jersey can be too heavy for them. I mean, we're all reading about Sam Lammers. He's actually done quite well for Utrecht, but that might be the type of club that he's better suited to, because there's no the same pressure, Albert. And actually, I'm quite happy to hear that Lammers is doing well, because it means that we might actually get a reasonable fee for him in the summer, because I think we might be wrong, he might come back and turn his Rangers career around, but sometimes you just think, well, you know, you've just got to see it didn't work out, but wish him all the best.
Well, yeah, exactly. What I've seen of Lammers, I hope he does well over there as well, and we can sell him and get money, at least one money back, if not a profit. That'd be ideal for us. What I've seen. Now, if you bring him back and hope he's going to turn his career around, and doesn't turn the career around, we're going to sit with egg in our face saying we had a chance to get rid of him, and when they didn't take it. But I think it'll be down to him, Linda, to be honest with you. If he does well over there, or he doesn't do well over there, it makes no difference. He will decide, I don't want to play in Scotland. I don't like that type of football. I want to move. So I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to ask for the move. And I don't blame him, because Scottish football it's a lot of things, but it's no easy. Put it that way, it's no easy. Even if you're a Clanwell's found this out, Barton found it out when he was up here. It is not easy. Don't think for a minute you're going to walk about here and stroll it about here. It's a lesser league and I played in the Premier League, blah, blah, blah. That makes no difference to the players up here. And by the way, a lot of the players in the other teams, especially the foreign ones, they're trying to make a name for themselves as well. They want to play in the Premier League. You look at that boy in Aberdeen, the centre forward. I mean, there's your man told him already, you're good enough to play there. So he's wanting to play there. So when you come up here to play for Rangers, you're up against some decent players who are trying their hardest to make a good career out of football. So, but Lammers might not like that. To my mind, he's been around too many clubs. He doesn't fit in too many clubs for my like. Maybe he is just a Dutch player and that's it. He just wants to play in that environment. So if I was him, I would just stay with him up and ask for the transfer. And I don't think Rangers were that hard to deal with, to be honest with you.
I mean, Bridge, you know, we talk about Scottish football, and as Albert said, it's not everybody's cup of tea. I mean, it's not an easy league to play in, but certainly clubs are still trusting us with their players, Bridge, and giving us good loan deals. And I suppose that's a quite a positive, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you're right, and we're being trusted. And unfortunately, some of the guys that have came on loan and a promise to buy or a possibility of buying, Rangers they've not made it at Rangers for whatever reason. They just haven't made it. When they go back and hopefully like Big Lammers there, he goes back and he resets his mind, because his mind just didn't seem to be working properly. Sometimes on the park, you know, he wondered what he was doing. I think he wondered what he was doing as well, truth be told. But I'll be pleased to hear that Lammers is doing really, really well, and his value will go up. And maybe he decides I'm not going to go back to Glasgow again. So I'd like to get a transfer and get Rangers a couple of bob. That would be great. That would be great for us, you know. And no disrespect. The first game I saw him, I thought this guy's going to be tidy. He looks really good. He's trying all these moves and he flicks and things like that. And I thought that looks good. Maybe they're just not coming off because he's not quite match fit yet. But the match fitness excuse went on for a month. It didn't get any better, so I'm afraid that he is what he is now. So no arguments with it.
So it'd be good to hear from some callers. Give us a call on 0141 356 1972. What do you think about our loan signings? What do you think about wearing the Rangers jersey? Is it too heavy for some of them? So it'd be good to get some callers in, Albert, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Get on that phone, we know you're out there. So phone us.
phone home. Do an ET.
Just to hit the signings. I see the folks are saying about the signings. Teams are trusting us down in England. Yeah. People are trusting Rangers now because of their European success and their European runs. That's why teams are trusting us. because they know we play a brand of football that's successful in Europe. We know what we're doing. So they're saying they're not particularly want to test the players in Scottish football, which is tough. It's a surprise to the players when they come. But what they're wanting to test them is in Europe to say, we'll get you into a half-decent European team that maybe not win the Champions League or anything like that, but they'll get runs and they'll get, and especially the Europa Cup, they'll get these runs and they'll give you experience in Europe. Tillman is a good example, as Fox has pointed out there. I mean, that boy's a brilliant player. I'm just sorry we didn't get that boy because he has total quality. I'm expecting that boy to go into really, really big things. But that's, to my mind, that's why the clubs are saying, right, Rangers are the club. Before that, they wouldn't have gave us our decent players because we were mints. We're messing about in the lower parts of the Premier League and the lower leagues of Scottish football. So they weren't going to get MD. Nobody was coming up here. But now it's a different kettle of fish. We've actually got a product to sell, and that's the European runs.
Yeah, Bridge, I mean, we want more domestic success. There's no doubt about that. We want to be winning trophies regularly. But our European forum, setting aside, obviously, the Champions League, it was good to get back into it, Bridge, but it was a bit of an experience for us, wasn't it, last year? But our reputation in Europe has been so much restored, Bridge, over the last 4 or 5 years. It's quite a turnaround for us, isn't it?
Well, we've climbed out the cellar with there, and we started getting a couple of games together. And okay, well, we had a few hiccups along the way as well. Our European form was built by the previous squad, and it's lasted because a lot of these players are still there, and obviously they're coming to the end of their, shall we say, careers. I think the new boys that are coming in could, this is what we're saying, here's an opportunity, get in there, you'll get a run in a good run in the Europa League. You might never win the Champions League, but you'll get a good run in the Europa League if Rangers are going to be in it. And they're a good squad with a good manager. So let's see if we can get you up and running. And hopefully they do that, but they leave the player here at Ibrox until Rangers finish the season or finish the European run. We don't want MD turning and saying, well, we've taken them back immediately, blah, 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 you know. We don't want that. So I think it's a great ground. Rangers are a great club doing these things. Absolutely brilliant club. And they're got a great reputation for it. Great reputation.
So we're going to be building up to another massive game on Wednesday. It would be good if people come in, give us your thoughts on the Ross County game. Will you be happy with a Bridgeman, or do you want us to rattle in a few goals? So let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Albert, what are you expecting from the team selection on Wednesday? I know we'll obviously get the pressers tomorrow, but if you're thinking about him being able to pick from what's available just now, do you think he'll go back to his strongest team, or do you think he'll still try and manage people's minutes?
The Aberdeen team.
Aye. That's
what we're playing. The Aberdeen team. That's now proved the standard. Everybody needs to fit into this team. So you need to bring your standard up to that team. So with the Aberdeen team, I don't think there's any doubt about it. I don't think anybody in the game against Ayr deserved, maybe Cortez aside. Only thing he's keeping him out is his fitness, but maybe him aside. There's nobody in the Ayr United game would they get into that Aberdeen team, into the team that played Aberdeen the other night. So Aberdeen team is the team. That's the strongest team so far that I've seen this season.
Would you be starting Dessers up front again and no Silva? Yeah.
Aye, absolutely, absolutely. I think Silva's a better player now. I'm not saying he's not a better player, but to fit into the team, and I think that's why he didn't bring him on Dessers on against Ayr. He wanted him for the Ross County game. So Dessers leads the line better than Silva. but Silver is more dangerous than Dessa. It's strange, isn't it? The two of them would make a great. Put the two of them together and make a great player.
Merge them into one, and we might have a bit of a number 9 in our hands, eh?
Exactly. But I think that'll be my team. I know that's a short answer. We don't really want short answers, but that's my team.
Right, I'll tell you what that team was. I was just looking at it there. So Butland, we've got Tav, Golson, Suter and Yilmaz. We had Lawrence and Lundstrom as the two sort of sitters. McCausland, Cantwell and Matondo and Dessers as the spearhead. Bridge, that means obviously Balogun. We've seen some of the posts today that Balogun will maybe be back. He's back in training. He might have to wear this. Well, he will have to wear this face mask, but he'll be coming back into contention. Probably too early for him in Wednesday. But how have you been? Have you been impressed with Suter? Do you think he's been playing well, Bridge?
Yeah, no problem with Suter. Suter is very much like Golson. He likes to go forward. And sometimes he loses the ball, and he made a howler the other night, and he basically tripped himself up for the ball, and it was dived, lying on the ground looking for somebody, either the ground opened up or indeed the referee to come and rescue him and give him a free kick. It wasn't happening, and when he does these bad things, then we end up in a real trouble, because he's got a good bit of pace for him as well, and he doesn't mess about. He's a rosette person. Just bump it into the rosette. Doesn't care. Clear his lines if possible. But when he goes forward, he looks quite good going forward. He dribbles. He's got a bit of skill about him, and Golson's got some really tremendous distribution passes. So we've got two centre halves that like to go forward, and unfortunately, we shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be doing it too. So maybe one, but not two.
Yeah, Albert, I suppose with Suter, we know sometimes he's strangely enough, he's not been the best header of a ball. He sometimes gets under the ball a bit, doesn't he? But I think he's actually starting to come onto a game, and probably all John needed was a run of games, Albert, without any injuries. And touch wood, he seems to be doing that.
In my opinion, he's a better football player than Golson, but he's not a better header than Golson. He doesn't win enough of the ball than Golson, and he's not got the experience that Golson's got, so that lets him down a wee bit. But on the ball, especially if he's going forward and carrying the ball, he's better than Golson, no doubt about that. I think they're maybe eachy-peachy, the two of them, for firing the long diagonals out to the wings. The two of them are good at that. So they're sort of eachy-peachy, but when it comes to actually clearing the ball with your head, I think Golson just might have the edge on him in that one.
And Yilmaz, Albert, is he kind of ahead of Barisic as the left back, or is that going to be horses for courses as well, depending on the games that we're playing?
It will be horses for courses, but if you're asking me, is he better a full-back than Barisic? By a country mile. By a country mile. He's the only thing is holding the back, and I know other people are saying height is an issue. I don't care, especially certain positions it's not an issue, but you're a defender, it's an issue. Trust me. Unless you know how to play it, and that's only comes with experience. I think Gary Neville was talking about it the other day there. We nudges, when to nudge, when not to nudge, when to block, when not to block. You learn all that. That's experience. But just for sheer football, he's a lot better than Barisic. A lot better than Barisic. He's got a football brain as well, the boy, and he likes to go forward, and he can go inside. He can take a shot on sometimes it's crap, but that's neither here nor there at the moment. Again, he can improve on that, but he knows and he can see a pass. But if you're playing a big team, like tomorrow night we're playing a big team, it could be that you might prefer Barisic. I think the only time that Clement will bring Barisic on is what he done the other week there, when the team that we're playing puts a big player out on the wing during the game. I think it was the St Mirren game. I think then Clement says, no, I've got to react to this. I can't let that be, because that's him isolated with a big player. And let's be honest with it, the ball's up in the air, the big player's going to win the ball in the air. It's a given. But I think that's the only circumstances that he'll take him off.
Bridge, what's your views on Yilmaz? Is he ahead of Barisic in your opinion?
I think, but Albert's right. I think he's a better better footballer than Barisic. But he's starting to, starting to see some of his crosses reaching it, you know. Barisic, I'm afraid, is I don't know whether he's bumped out or what, you know, to be honest. But Yilmaz, I think Yilmaz is a smashing player. Obviously, you've got to remember what the league that we're playing in, and he's only a wee fella for a fullback. And we are expecting someone, always we're expecting a fullback to be able to handle the back post when corners and free kicks are coming in. And I'm afraid that the lad can't, I don't think he'll be able to jump that far against these huge big defenders when they come up, you know. And Barisic can hardly do it himself in there anyway, you know. So a difficult choice for the manager. The manager might end up letting him go, or maybe he's going to go anyway this season. And I think that he'd be happy to go there, because if you're going to play really good football, interlinking with everyone else in the team, then I think Yilmaz is your man. But if you're going to play football, it's, you know, defend, you only get two people to defend, then Yilmaz and Tavernier would be up the park anyway. So it wouldn't make a much difference from a defensive perspective. But not now. All the teams know it. They all know we've got a weakness at the fullback level, both sides. So you see big high balls flopping up come out the sky, and they're just dropping like a stone. And you've got to be able to header, go and challenge, you know, the rest of it. It's a difficult task for a fullback. Difficult task.
We've been joined by our first caller tonight, Bob Jer. Good evening, Bob Jer.
Good evening, Linda. Good evening, Bruce. Hello.
Hello, pal. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, pal. I was busy last week, away visiting somebody, but here I am. Hard as life.
Give us some of your chat then, Bob Jer.
I'm as cold as a lawyer's letter for your ex-wife. Anyway.
Yeah, awful.
Yeah, I know. I hear you talking about Yilmaz and Barisic there. The prospect could be that we could lose the two of them in the summer. You know, I mean, you're hearing all these rumours that Galatasaray would be very keen to take Yilmaz back, and Yilmaz would be keen to go home. And Barisic, well knows his situation is his heart in it anymore. I suppose it is. He's been here for a long time, but yeah, they will be away in the summer. I think we all know that. So what do we do? They will rekindle our efforts for the Brazilian laddie. Well, looks like we're going to have to do something. But the opinion of the two players, that Yilmaz is the more industrious player, definitely. Hello.
I'll cut across you, Bob. We've been joined by a first-time caller. Is it John?
It is, aye. It is. Thank you.
How you doing, John?
What's
on your mind?
I'm doing fine. Right, I was just thinking, right, as a lifelong Rangers supporter, I think we're all in the same sort of boat where actually we want our team to actually do well this season, right? And the dream would be for us to win everything that's gone. And I'm just thinking to myself, right, if we say, for example, we won the four competitions, right? Would Big Phil, would he actually feel that he's got more to gain to win being the gaffer at Glasgow Rangers? Because we would all love him to actually continue to be our boss. I think the Champions League is probably just out of range, but I'm just thinking, right, we wouldn't want to lose him, but there'd be maybe other teams actually in other countries, as well as, you know, in the UK, that would maybe actually be looking for to snap up a manager like that, So I'm just wondering what the panel would think, actually.
Yeah, it's a good shout, John. What do you think yourself, John? I suppose there's always a risk if you bring a manager in, if they do well. There's other leagues perhaps down south. I mean, you've just got to look, I hate to say it, across the city, and that's what happened to them. But I suppose it's a risk, John. Yep.
It is, it is. It's just like, you know, if a player shows their worth, like, you know, at Rangers, like, you know, other clubs are going to look at them. The same goes for the manager. I would love to grab all these trophies this season, like the rest of us, like yourselves, the rest of us, or the true blues, eh? But I'm just thinking to myself, I mean, would they want to stay? Would they want to win, get another treble, or even, I just say, getting maybe to the Champions League final again, like, you know? I'm just wondering what we think.
I'll take your point to Bob Ger, John, okay? Bob Ger, John saying that it might be a risk for us if Clement was to win more trophies, that somebody might come and snap him up.
Welcome to Rangers Radio, John. You'll have a lot of fun and enjoyment here, sir. I can assure you.
I love the show, man. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I take your point. If your manager's a success and he's bringing trophies to the club, it's obviously going to draw a great deal of attention to him. And we have I believe we've got a top drawer manager here that's going to bring success to the club. But he's got to do it first. And he's amassed a good squad. He's amassed a good squad of players here, and if we do win things, it's going to attract attention to your manager. And everybody's got an ambition, and Philippe Clement will have an ambition. But I think his ambition is to manage Rangers in the Champions League. And if we can get there and get that pot of gold, that's so much the better. Everybody moves on. Philippe Clement will not be the manager of Rangers forever, but we'd like him to be the manager as long as possible. So we'll see what the future brings. We've still to win trophies. Still, as you said, you mentioned the word treble in Europe. We've still to get there with that. And if the man can do it, well, he's going to draw attention. And there's nothing the club can do about that. Whether you're a manager, whether you're a player, there's nothing you can do about it.
And we're going in the right direction, because he's definitely the man for the club.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
we're going in the right direction.
John, I'll just bring you back in just after Bob Ger's finished there. I was just going to say to you, John, what's impressed you most about Clement? What have you liked most about him?
Well, like you said often when he's been interviewed, the fact that he's not a loser. He wants to win, right? And he's instilled that actually in all the players, right? You can see, like I listen to every opportunity I get, right? And he's keep talking as well about the difference and the contrast in the players since Beale left. So the man's got something, right, and he's putting it into every one of the players, and we're seeing it for ourselves actually. The big difference. So it's been a while coming, but I think we've got a gaffer now, right, that can change things, and let's get back to winning cups and getting the one over on them, you know, across the other side, definitely.
Well said, John. Absolutely. We all want trophies. Albert, John makes some good points there about the manager, Albert. I suppose it's just a risk that you've got to take, but let's hope he's as successful as we all want him to be, Albert. I'll bring Albert in, John, and then I'll come back to you.
All right.
Good points, John. Good you brought up there. My opinion on Clement at the moment is he answered that question himself at the day's presser. He said that it's all right winning trophies and getting to the top, but you need to stay there. And he's including himself here. That's the proof of a good team and a good manager. So getting just this season over with, and we win what we win, the league, whatever, that's not going to be enough for him. And the only thing that's going to make him leave, right, is if Rangers can't afford to turn down the offer they get for another club, and it'll need to be something really special. If he goes on and does a really successful season, this winning the league, winning the Scottish Cup, wins a treble, or he wins 2 or 3 of the trophies, there is no way that he wants to leave. He wants to prove that this wasn't a fluke. I can do this again, and the team can do this again.
Exactly.
So that's what he's wanting to build. So it's only money. If an unbelievable amount of money is offered for him, I don't think Rangers can turn that down. But it'll have to be something spectacular.
Aye. I mean, that can only be good for the club, for the revenue coming to the club. But the thing is, we didn't want to lose a manager with the talent that he's got, like, you know.
Absolutely.
Aye.
John, do you think that the manager's obviously his approach in his pressers, he's getting asked about trebles and winning more trophies, and he's just trying to keep he's saying that the players are focused, but are you finding it difficult, John, as a fan, to dream of these potential trebles and maybe getting to a final in Dublin?
Okay. That'd be brilliant, man. You got me buzzing. I knew like Tom. I know. Imagine getting to Dublin and winning it.
we better not set the bar too high, Johnny.
Aye. But the thing is, there's a great feeling in the camp. With the support of the fans, we're all happy. Like the way things are going. Okay, every game doesn't set the hell on fire, but it's the points at the end of the day. It's a grit, Ken. The fact we're getting there, like, and we've got a good run of games where we're no conceding, we're no losing, and we've got a great goalkeeper. We've got so many good players actually now compared to just a few months ago when we were all doing in the dumps. It's just brilliant. It's great. Great for everybody.
Bob, Jerry, yourself, are you just trying to keep your feet in the ground and take one game at a time, or are you starting to think ahead a wee bit?
It's the best way you look at it, Linda. It's to take one game at a time. We've got this game on Wednesday night against a pretty beleaguered Ross County side that have not got a manager. That's their lookout. You've just got to go to the job, try and get to the top of the league, which we all thought was impossible a couple of months ago. And here we are. Yeah. Some good points you're making there, John. I mean, the outlook's good. The future's bright. The future of Rangers. So, yeah, just get out and do the business here every time. We've got a good squad of players. We're getting people back. Right. And, it's a good choice for Mr. Clement to have. Don't forget, hey, troops, we've got a trophy in the cabinet already. Let's go and get another one. We know what it's feel. I'm wanting Rangers. We're all wanting Rangers back to what they were. And we're on the right road with this man. He knows a player.
I'll bring in the man of reason and somebody that's going to keep our feet on the ground, Bridge. One game at a time, Bridge?
100%. One game every time. One game at a time. Look, obviously, how can we say, we're going to play Ross County. What we don't want is we don't want any sort of load the defence or load the 6-yard box if we can't get anywhere near the goal. And that's what we don't want. We want to be able to play them at football and beat them. And then all of a sudden, they've done it before to us. They've came and scored goals, or a goal. And it really, truly, it's a heartbreak when it happens. We don't want any more of that. We need to stop all. I fully expect us to win. And obviously the size of the victory will be great. If we get more than the 4 goals or whatever it is, if it's 4 goals or more, that would be fabulous. If we get that, top of the league, then they've got some thought to do over the other side of the side. They've got some thoughts. Because the last thing they thought of, the Rangers would be anywhere near them.
John, what's your early impressions been of our new signings, Silva, Diamondi, and Cortez?
Okay, I can see. I think we can all see actually the potential that these players have got, and we're lucky enough to actually to have them. But I think they seem to be hitting the ground running, considering the time that the minutes they're getting on the park. They seem to be comfortable. I think a lot of it will stem from the dressing room, I think there must be a fly in the wall actually, just to see what is getting said in the dressing room, because I think there's this camaraderie, right? And these new players that have been coming in, like Silva and Cortez and that, they're feeling it. And they seem to be kind of just settling in. So long may it continue, Long may it continue. Aye, Chuff.
Aye, that's good. I mean, the thing is, these new guys, they've got to find their feet, haven't they, Bob Ger? They're settling into Scottish football. It's a new country they're living in as well, Bob Ger. It's all, you've got to take all of that into consideration.
Well, a culture change. There's quite a culture living in Scotland there. Seen the SNP have made it a jumbo sale, but never mind about that. These guys, the boy Cortez looks a really good player. Diamandi will talk to see the best of him. He looks a big casual player as well, and good science. And Silva, I do believe he'll come good. He's a very clever boy. Very clever boy. It's handling the rough and tumble of the Scottish game, as you say, but I believe the laddies can do it. And I think getting back to Mr. Clement, he's obviously got everybody together in the dressing room, and he's turning and said, look, you'll all be playing. You'll all get a game at some point, because there's a hell of a lot of hard games to come up. So nobody get their chin on their chest and take the huff that they're not getting a game. You will all be playing. And there's a good camaraderie about the club. You can see it. And as I say, the future's bright, the future of Rangers. Right, Linda, on you go.
No, I was just going to say there, Bob, I'll bring Albert back in. It's just a lot of the players have been saying that, Albert, when they've been interviewed, even the guys that are not playing as much or the guys that are injured, they seem to be included in everything, Albert, whereas maybe in the previous regime they were on the sidelines and they didn't feel part of it.
What's happened now is Clement has built a team and he's got them playing well. Now if you're not playing, you know the standard you need to bring yourself up to. So they're trying it at training, working hard at training, try to catch his eye, and he's telling him, as Bob Gill says, you'll get a game. There's plenty of games to get a game. You will get a game, but you need to make sure you're ready to play. You're ready to play. You watch the team train. You watch the team play. If you think you're good enough, and I'll make sure that you're good enough because I'm going to give you the opportunity to train and get a game when the time's right. So if you're there or thereabouts at training, you'll get a game. So that in itself doesn't exclude MD. And he's included everybody in this, by the way. He said when he came in, it's a blank page for everybody. So prove to me that you want to play for me, prove to me you want to play for Rangers, prove you want to play for the supporters. And to be fair to the players, look at Lundstrom. He's a classic example. He's trying his hard out. Okay, he's got an extra motivation, I suppose, because he's out of contract. But Barisic is out of contract. So is Jack. They're all playing well. Raskin's back for injuries, and we say we'll cut him a bit of slack on that. But he needs to come to the party soon. He can't keep going on that. Lawrence is starting to show a bit. Dessers is starting to show a bit. So you look at all the players that say, he's true to his word. The man's true to his word, and they trust him. And that's what's bringing them all together. They trust him. He says things and he sticks to it.
John, who's impressed you most under Clement? Who are the players that have made the most improvement? I mean, Albert mentions John Lundstrom there, but has there been anybody else you think that really upped their game since Clement came in?
I think Seamer, for one. Definitely, obviously prior to him getting injured, Cantwell too. I mean, Todd Cantwell's actually, as I say, he went through that wee kind of grey patch there, but he's starting to pick up his game again, But definitely, like John Lundstrom, I would actually say John Lundstrom, above all, has been the total contrast now, working for playing for a different manager,
Would you give him a new contract, John? Yeah.
Most definitely, aye. I think I agree with some of the guys on the panel and that. I would actually give him. I would give him another 2 years, providing he keeps playing the way he's playing. I can some photos saying just give him another 1 year roll on, see how he goes. But I think there's something. He's got the confidence. It's a two-way street. I think he's got confidence in Clement, and I think Clement has got confidence in him. And if it stays that way, then I would say it's worth the money actually giving him a 2 year contract, because, as I say, when he's on his game, he's good. He's good. He holds that midfield and he's got that kind of like that the toughness in his play, which is really what we need. It's great to see the team actually being a lot more aggressive now, than what they have been in recent times. So it's all coming together. It's all coming together.
Bob, Jerry, is Lundstrom worth a new contract in your opinion?
Definitely. The performances he's put in this year, to me, he's one of the most improved players at Ibrox. Him and Yilmaz has been good as well. I think there's more to come from him, but whether he stays here or no, as I said 10 minutes ago, you don't know. Young McCausland, I think, is going to be an outstanding player for Rangers. I do. And in this day and age of a high transfer levels, we'll be lucky to hang on to that lad. That lad is going to be an outstanding player. Well, they've tied him down for 4 years, haven't they? So, and he's Rangers daft, so yeah, bye. Future's bright. He's a really good player, an excellent player. And he can only get better.
Bob Jerry, he's probably played a bit more than we would have maybe thought as well, Bob Jerry.
Absolutely. He has. He's an established first team player now. And you can see why, because he's quality. I love his runs inside and some of the passes that he makes. He's a terrific young player. young McCausland. We've got a jewel on our hands here. And Clement will know how to nurture him, so you know how to bring him on. So yes, definitely. I would, in fact, I'd go as far as to say, like, everybody's improved. Have you seen what it was like at the start of the season? You know, up to when Beale seems to be getting the blame for everything, but they weren't playing for Beale. And look at them there. And, you know, John Lundstrom's a prime example. Okay, well, down you go, love.
No, I'm saying, Bridge, Bob Ger makes a good point there. There's been a lot of the players have improved since Clement came in, but as we said there, Bridge, you know, the players are asked what the difference is, and it's not a big long answer they're giving, Bridge, is it? It's just they're saying that everything's been made clear to them. It's all about mentality. So it just seems to be he's keeping it simple, Bridge, and not overcomplicating things.
Yeah, I think the players and anyone else involved in the club, when they ask them a question, they're getting this clarity you're talking about, and that gives them the confidence. So the confidence, even just to go and ask them the question. I think he's a straightforward guy to them, you know, and I think he's swept a lot of cobwebs away from their club, and the club's now thriving. I would suggest so. Now thriving and looking really, really good as a club, and as a football team. We're learning and growing in strength, and that can only be better. All the things that are happening around about the club, a man like that at the helm only helps. It can't do any harm. It can only help, and that's what we need. We need all the help we can get. We can start tomorrow night. Biggest game of the season.
John, Albert was saying earlier on that he thinks that the Aberdeen team, the team that started against Aberdeen, is probably the kind of a benchmark, the strongest team. I don't know, did you hear the team there, John? Do you want me to read it out to you and get your opinion, or do you have the same view?
No, I'll read it out.
So what the team against Aberdeen was Butland, and then it was Tav, Goldson, Suter and Yilmaz. The two holding midfielders was Lawrence, Lundstrom, and then we had the front three of McCausland, Cantwell and Matondo, with Dessers up top.
Mm-hmm.
Any changes?
Well, no, I wouldn't. No. If they're all fairly fit in that, like, I would say that's a good lineup. Going forward, like, you know, definitely.
Yeah.
Is that what you were asking me, Linda, that question?
Yeah,
like,
that's right, know, Don. It was just we were kind of talking a wee bit about whether he would rotate again or go back to the strongest team available.
No, I think actually that sounds actually like it's the ideal team for going forward, like, you know. As I say, the most importantly is we didn't want to pick up any injuries or that, like, you know. As I say, we want our key players actually on that park, definitely. Linda, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go just now, right? Because I'm going to be coming back on. I'm not back on the phone, but I'm going to come back on and listen to the rest of the show, like. But I need to go and do something just now,
It was great to hear from you, John. It was great to hear from you, and make sure you call in again.
I will do. As I say, I've often thought about phoning in, but I've never actually kind of, I don't know, just not the courage to phone. But I listen to you guys all the time, and I think these are football people. You ken the game, right? I love to listen to all your banter and everything. It's brilliant. So I thought I'm going to give you a phone tonight. As I say, I listen to every time you're on, like. And thanks again, Linda, and all you guys. And
that's fantastic,
the panel,
John.
Anytime, John.
Right, thanks, right. Cheers. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Take care.
Good night, Rangers. John.
Good night. Bye. Bye.
Ask me about Lundstrom.
Go on your cell, Albert.
Would I give him a contract? No, I wouldn't give him a contract. Absolutely not. Right, there's nothing in it for Rangers. Zero benefit for Rangers. The guy, the rest of the season, if he plays the way he's playing, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. But for my mind, he's playing for somebody else now. He should be looking for another contract with somebody else, a 3 or 4 year contract with some other club. There's nothing in it. He doesn't fit the profile for Rangers now. Now at his age. Plus, if we sign him for 2 years and he does his usual, chucks it somewhere, what do we do? We're sitting with a guy on 30 grand a week sitting on the stands. He's already said he wants to finish his career at Rangers. I don't want him to finish his career at Rangers. That's not the profile is all about. The only saving grace he's got is we can't get rid of all the experience with the team and have the team full of 20-year-olds. That's the saving grace. But for me, no, too dangerous. You're going to end up tying in $2 million plus for the player who might just take it in his head to chuck it, and he's got a track record of chucking it. He's done it against St Johnstone. He's done it against St Mirren. He's even done it against that mob across the city. And he's done it this season with Limassol. No for me. Sorry, but no for me. And he is playing well, by the way. Right now he's playing well. I'll give you that. But no, sorry. I'm not buying it with him.
Bridge, any views?
On Lundstrom, well, I think we originally, probably, let's say at the beginning of this year, if you'd asked me, if there was a period in this season, I wouldn't have given you tuppence for John Lundstrom because he looked absolutely dreadful. And a man that didn't really want to know or was carrying an injury and not letting anyone else know. I think over the last month or so, he's actually shown. So I'm not sure. I would, at the present moment, I was asked this before on the show. At the present moment, I would definitely give him a contract, but not a 4-year contract. But he could get a season rolling season contract, a rolling year. I don't think I would go as far as to plump on for 4 years. You just never know with them, So yeah, if I get a year by year, I'd be happy.
Bob, Ger, I think when our manager's been asked about Lundstrom, I think he said that he's given the impression that he'd be happy for him to stay. And he said, I think it's up to him and the club to sort out the financials. I think he's definitely said that, Clement. So if Clement wants him to stay, Bob, Ger, would you be happy with that? Would you support his decision, or do you have some of the concerns that Albert's mentioned there?
Well, I know. I wouldn't definitely give him a 4-year contract. There's no 4 years football left in John Lundstrom. But you didn't forget you've signed this young man, this Diamandi, and I'm confident he'll come in and he'll take over the mantle in the middle of the park, and Lundstrom will be the backup to him. That could eventually happen. But Bridge made a good point there. They might give him a rolling 1-year contract. And Lundstrom's best days were on the run up to the Europa League final. But he's found a bit of form again, and he's playing well at the moment. And who's to say he'll do the same next year? I do agree with you, Albert. His future it could be in the balance, but I won't go as far as to say it'll not be long term. It'll be short term.
Put it this way, Bob.
But fair play.
See if he's a player that he thinks he has. See if he's a player he thinks he has, and somebody else thinks he can maintain that form for another 2 years. Do you think the other teams will not come in and offer him a better contract than Rangers could offer him?
Well,
and that'll tell you everything. If nobody comes in for him, it's like Tavernier and Golson, nobody come in for him. So you're sitting looking at yourself going, in the footballing world, they know their name mugs in the footballing world. There is teams that are stupid. I think we sometimes fit into that category for some of the signings. But you look at Lundstrom and say, if you are the player that you think you are, and you play that for him, I would expect an Everton or possibly a Sunderland or somebody like that to come in and offer him fantastic money to go and sign for him. And I'll tell you right now, there's not a team down south going to come in and offer him money. But he thinks he's going to con Rangers out of this. This £30,000-40,000 contract for 2-3 years. I think it's a bad move over there.
I don't think you'll go to that price level.
No. I think that's what he wants. I don't know that for a fact, Bob, but I think that's possibly he wants.
Well, he's approaching the end of his career, the boy. Yeah? I mean, we all know that, like I say, because I think that young man will come in the middle of the park, take over, and if he thinks that he's going to get 30, 35, 40 grand a week, you better think again, because that's not going to happen. If it's going to get a contract that says, I'll be in the first team pool with Rangers every week, and that's as far as I will go, I think.
I think he'll be looking at Golson and Tavernier and saying, that's what you done at them at that age. You gave them 4-year contracts and you upped their salaries, whacked your salaries right up. And I'm saying that's what he's looking at and thinking, I'll have a bit of that. That'll take me to 34.
No.
That'll do me nicely. That'll do me nicely.
Yeah, that's probably a good point, Albert. He will be looking at them and he'll be saying, well, look at the amount of games I'm available for, etc. But yeah, good points, good discussion. Well, guys,
can I just come in? Can I just
on you
just for
come,
1
Bridge.
second?
Final word
Just,
on that.
just remember, this is the team of the squad as they are now. They've got us to probably the best position that Rangers have been in for a long time. If we take away the Gerrard year, because I think the way the squad is and the way the manager we've got is we've got a bit of discipline in the club, and that's a great thing. And if I can continue, we're denigrating Lundstrom. We have been all season to a certain extent, but look, he's there and he's doing it. And if he takes Rangers anywhere near to the championship this season, then he deserves a bit of praise. And I wouldn't say he doesn't deserve he won't deserve a 4-year contract, but certainly a raise and a 1-year contract, most assuredly a rolling contract for me, and Tavernier as well. But they're all, we have to say it, Goldson, Tav, Lundstrom, they're all at the end of their life, career life now. That's it. They're just going to have to either stay with Rangers or go. So I think.
Well, just a final point. You think it this way, Bridge, the team that won 55, right, the following year they won nothing, and we gave them contracts. Morelos and all that, we gave them contracts. The following year after that, we get the UEFA Cup, win the Scottish Cup, right? We gave Tavernier contracts, we gave Conor Golson contracts, we gave other people contracts. They won nothing. So if we win the league this year, which I think we will do, and we win a cup, we've already done that, and if we win any more trophies, are we going to reward this mob and then win nothing next year? But you've got them on 3 and 4 year contract. It doesn't make sense. We need to learn more lessons. This is the point I'm making. We really need to learn more lessons. The team keeps evolving year in, year out. It has to keep evolving, and you can't keep sentimentality as part of that evolution.
100%.
I think it's the whole squad profile as well that you mentioned, Albert. Hopefully we'll have a better handle on that in terms of planning for the future as well. Absolutely. Yep. Right, guys, we've reached that time of the evening. That was a quick couple hours. Bob, do you have final thoughts from yourself? Happy getting into Wednesday's game?
What was that, Linda? Sorry.
Happy getting into Wednesday's game? Confident?
Yes, absolutely. And I agree with Albert there totally that if any club needs to learn harsh financial lessons, it's Glasgow Rangers. And I don't think they'll make very many financial mistakes. Linda, thanks for having me on the night, love. I've thoroughly enjoyed it as usual. The only show in the airwaves that gets better every time it's through it.
Brilliant. Cheers.
So I'll say good night to you.
Good night. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Albert.
Aye, well, I'm looking forward to Wednesday night. My focus is totally, utterly on Wednesday night. I want the Rangers to win. I don't care how many they win by, as long as they win and get the 3 points. Victory, and onward to the league.
Superb. Bridgeman.
I agree with Albert. I think it's good sentiment, and I want that too. And if we do get the number of goals, as I said earlier, we do get the requisite number of goals, we're top of the league, and that would be just fabulous for us. I mean that sincerely, on our own merit, nobody else's merit, our own merit. So I'll be very happy with that. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, biggest game of the season coming up on Wednesday. Biggest game of the season, possibly of any season. There you go. That's how big it is. For me, Rangers are going to win it, and hopefully, I always want to take a Bridgman at 1-0, but I hope they get the 4 or 5 goals that they need. That's for me. So everybody keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us, and they do. Keep it going.
Can I thank Bob Jer for calling in? Good to hear from Bob Jer again, and also John, first time caller. Call back again, John. It was good to hear from you. Thanks to Albert and Bridgeman for helping out with the show tonight. Enjoyed being on with them. Thanks to technical guys Fox and Old School Blue. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night, building up again a massive game on Wednesday. Thanks for listening, everyone. Take it away, Foxy.